Hello, YouTube fans. This is TheSkullKlown. I'm here to talk about the Superman movie from James Gunn, I believe. Superman 2025. Now, some people might. Okay, this movie starts basically where Superman is in Antarctica, I believe. I believe he calls Klypto, and Klypto helps him back up to the Fortress of Solitude, I believe. Right? Sorry, don't kill me in the comment section. It's been a while. But um the exposition in this movie sucks. It's so fucking bad, bro. It is so fucking bad. I was 9 minutes in this movie, and I was like, "Are we done? Can you shut the fuck up already and just fucking get to the point?" Constantly, this movie started doing it. Um, but even when it was doing that, they had moments that I liked, and Klypto is great. The rivalry between um Lex Luthor and Superman is great in my opinion. I think it's probably the strongest thing that's in this movie. Lois Lane, she's Lois Lane. She's fine. I don't hate her or anything like that. She's fine the way she's doing. It's just that I'm only here like you know how I say that. You know how sometimes you know how I said in the beginning of the video of like show don't tell basically. So the thing about this movie is that um Superman is already established, and that's fine. I don't care for that. Like I don't mind that at all. Some people just outright hate it. They'll be like, "Oh, I don't know this version of Superman," but I'm just like, it's Superman. What more do you need? You know, like I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't get it when it comes to that. But it is funny that they do show like it's funny. It feels like this movie was like put together for one reason alone, and then everything was just put together right afterwards. That's what it felt like to me. But the way that I felt, even by the end of this movie, when I was looking at the credits, just thinking this movie's actually fun. Actually, liked the movie. It's just like there was moments I was like, stop insulting my intelligence, and I get it. Kids are watching this movie. I get it. I get it. But what the fuck? Kids are not that stupid. They can figure this shit out, you know. So that's just me. Um, the CGI could be a little better, but I don't mind it all that much. It does have that comic-y feel, in my opinion. And I do like that. Obviously, Lex Luthor is bent on destroying Superman. That's like the best thing about this whole movie. It constantly keeps going and it does not stop. The fight scenes are good in this movie too. I like the fight scenes. I know a lot of people say Superman gets his ass kicked here, but this is a young Superman. He's not. He's still getting his what is it? Lip clean. Yeah, he's not. He's green, but he's not green basically. You know. You can tell he spent time some fighting, spent time some doing other stuff, basically, because he's already well known all over the world, and it's up to the point now that it's escalating to the point that people just want to take, well, the world leaders want to take out Superman, basically, and Lex Luthor is trying to do everything possible for to have a reason to go after Superman. You know, and they're like, "Oh, we should not go after him because this man could kill us, and plus we should not go after a person that we don't know if that person's really want to attack us or not." You know, so eventually Lex Luthor goes to um the man cave of Superman. That's what I like to call it. But you got the Green Lantern, and I think you got the Manhunter's dad. I could be wrong. Maybe it's a different character. You get Hawker in this, and I love Hawker. By the way, I loved her in the original one of the cartoons that they showed. What is it? I know it's one of a big thing. Again, I haven't watched that show in years since I was a kid, but I know that was my favorite version of Hawker and shit like that. Well, at the time, that's how I got introduced to the character. I mean, but in this one, she's great here, in my opinion. And there is moments that, like there was a moment when Superman comes. Look, this is how this movie is, right? If you want to know the flaws that I had with this movie, here's one scene. All right, Superman and his team are like fighting some monster, right? and then all of a sudden you see that in the background, right? It's dark out, and it's all glowy because they're fighting this monster, this tentacle monster, Lovecraftian creature, and you see Superman step in a house, in the house basically. He closes the window, all beat up, so you already know what's up, and he's looking at the news, sitting back, just exhausted, and then Lois Lane comes and she's like, "So you're fighting with your friends over there?" It's like, bitch, we know this. Stop put. This is how this movie is. This movie is constantly being like, oh yeah, what you just saw, yeah, we're gonna point it out. How many times? How many times do you have to do this movie? Again, in the beginning of the movie, they were showing it, and now I'm talking about with the title card when they were explaining Superman. That's fine. I didn't care about that. At first, I was like, oh, okay, now I can actually see why people don't like this movie all that much. And then it kept going and doing that, and I was just like, guys, you're not. I'm 9 minutes into this movie. I'm already getting fed up right now. I'm actually getting fed up. I never felt that way in a movie in my life, except for what a little bit in the beginning, Ready Player One, where I was just like, shut the fuck up, show and don't tell, basically. And what else too? Halloween 2018. I was like that close to leaving the theater for Halloween 18 when they're showing Michael's mask. He's like, he basically is like, take it, talk to me, respond, basically. And I'm like, shut the fuck up, shut up. You know, that's just how I felt, man, when I was watching that movie for the first time. And that's one of the reasons I only watched that movie once. But but overall, this Superman movie, I don't hate it. I like the Superman movie. I really do. Does it have flaws? Fuck yeah, it does. The thing is, the dynamic between Superman and the people that he's hanging out with, like the Justice League, the future Justice League, basically, they're cool. I like the dynamic with that. And how the and how they go into pocket dimensions and all that. That stuff is great, obviously. And then obviously the Lex Luthor stuff is the best part about this movie, in my opinion. Um, and it's so funny that Crypto is just, again, he's a puppy, so he's gonna act like a puppy, and it's great to see him basically. Um, it is. I've always wanted to see a Superman movie that has freaking Crypto. It's about damn fucking goddamn time we get a live action movie that has Crypto in it. No, I'm dead serious. You know. Um, Oh, but they had it in Smallville, did they? I don't know. I didn't watch Smallville. You did it? Somewhat, but then I stopped. Maybe I should go back to it eventually. But the villains were not that bad. I don't think the villains were not that bad. There's literally, oh god, they called it this guy that fucking looks like it belongs in a in the Boys comic book and the Boys TV series. Freaking is called Ultraman. You can't make this shit up. Is that a character in the comic books? Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really hardcore to the comic book, so correct me if I'm wrong. But hey, if it is, it is. But it's funny that he's called Ultraman, and I'm just like, Ultraman. I'm just like, I want to sing the song. Oh shit. But it is cool with the whole fight scenes. Like I said, the fight scenes are really cool. I like when the kids are like holding the flag of Superman that they made and they're saying Superman, Superman, Superman. All of that stuff. I'm telling you, man, this movie has great fucking stuff in it. It does. It has great stuff in it. It's just that there's other shit out in it that you have to get to those good points. And some people might not like that. Some people, I've seen Minty from Comedic Arts. He does not like this movie at all, and that's fine. Again, I commented on his video saying that I haven't watched it, so I can't really say anything. But I'm sure I'll probably have fun with it or and all that. But I did have fun with this movie. But good God, I couldn't back away from some of the stuff that this movie was doing. And I'm not even like a critic type of person. I just love movies and I love Superman, and I love these superhero movies. So when I watch a movie like this that constantly is like doing, telling you what just happened or telling you some backstory that's like that should have been part of the fucking movie probably, especially when Lex Luthor goes to the basically Superman's hideout, the South what was it? I keep forgetting the fucking name. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be fast with this movie right now. Fortress of Solitude. Sorry, sorry about that, guys. Again, hopefully I'm saying it right too. But when they go over there, it's like this chick that's like kind of robotic and shit like that, right? I forgot her name for a minute. Even though like her and Ultraman do really good job in the movie, especially the actors. But even God, okay, okay. One scene in that movie, in that part of when they go to his secret base with all the robots and stuff, and all the robots get fucked over, and Clipto even gets fucked over. I was like, Clipto, oh shit, suffocate the fucking dog. It's like, don't do that, Lex. You took the dog. Maybe that's why people hate this movie. There's even a part when Superman's like trying to save people and he saves a score. I can see people hate that. Oh, not my Superman. I don't want a Superman saving cats from a tree. Hey, when I saw that part, I was just like, for those people that actually want to see it, it happened. So I didn't mind that. I don't mind Superman doing both things. But if you're going to pay attention, but I mean, if you are going to put both things in it, just make it really cool and fun. And it did look cool and fun. When you seeing all the fight scenes happening, when they fight that big giant kaiju monster and stuff like that. That was a good scene. I liked that scene. Some people say, oh, it comes out of nowhere. No, if you're paying attention to the movie, the Lex Luthor's men are trying to make sure Superman looks bad. So they're going to do anything possible to make Superman bad. And there was a scene when they just released an animal out in the wild. Little Titan baby out in the wild. And they were like, yeah, he will. If you want to pay attention to that, then I don't know what to tell you. I think the movie just lost you at that point, which, you know what? I can't blame you because this movie almost lost me. But then I kept going with it. And by the end of the movie, I was just like, in the beginning, you pissed me off. In the middle, I was just like, what are you doing? And then by the end, I was like, okay, all right. You're still doing it. What are you doing? Oh, now that's cool. You see, I wanted to see that through the whole movie because there was a part. Hold on, I'll get to that part soon with the parent stuff. I'm jumping everywhere because I just saw this movie and I have so much mixed emotions with this movie right now. Um, so the chick that's with Lex Luthor when they go to the Fortress of Solitude, right? All of a sudden, this chick, Lex Luthor, is just like explaining of what he had to do to get to this point, right? And then all of a sudden, it's like, at first you're like, all right, fine, Lex, you can, that's fine. You can explain what it is, not that much, basically. Not to the point that I'm ignored by it. But all of a sudden, you do something else that I get annoyed by. The chick comes out of nowhere and goes like, yeah, and that's why I had to change my body to get to this point so we can actually do what we're doing. And I'm only here like, oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, my God. There's a point of keeping mysteries, and there's a point of literally flat out just telling everything to the point that you're not even going to show it. You could have opened the movie just showing that, what you just told me, Lex, and this bitch that's with you. You know? Look, again, this movie, man. And then they do it again with her, too, when they falling down from the sky and Superman's trying to, get all that gunk out that was on Clipto once because they did it to him. Because they were trying to suffocate him and stuff like that. And he goes whoosh, crashing down because he goes all the way up to the atmosphere and goes right back down. And she's like, oh my God, I can't take this impact. If I can take this impact, I won't survive it. I'm only here like, movie. At that point, when I saw that part in that movie, I was just like, you know what? I could give it a slide. I could give it a slide. But you've been doing that throughout the whole movie. Now I'm to the point that I'm like, guys, you didn't need to do that. You had Lex Luthor's perfect reactions where he was like, "No," and then he's like in shock of what happened to his crew members. So it's like, okay, then take that. Like she didn't have to say that. That right there of Lex Luthor's face and his emotions and him just calling out her name says everything right there. You don't have to say what she said when she was falling down and telling Lex, "I can't take the impact. I'll die." you know, you know. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me, man. That's why I had to go back and forth with this movie. I was watching other stuff on YouTube and just kept pausing it, watching other stuff on YouTube and unpausing it and keep watching the movie. Because it was such to the point that I was just like, movie, you're this close for me shutting you off, man. And I hate to feel that way. My friend liked this movie. you know, and I wanted to see this movie. I did. So was it the next movie I'm going to talk about is the Fantastic Four. So I will talk about that movie next after this one. Um, look forward to it. Maybe I should do it tomorrow, because I want to take a break of the movie that I just saw. But I don't hate this movie as much people probably will. I know there's people that love this movie, and that's fine. That's fine. And some people that hate this director's movies is just like, okay, fine, you're just a hater. All right, fine. Ignoring you. Moving on. You know? Like I just don't care at that point. You know? But there's a scene where Superman is unconscious. Basically, he's weak. He goes to his parents' house, gets to rejuvenate. He has a great moment with his dad and stuff. I love that moment. I'm glad his dad is not dead in this universe, because moments like that, I love that. I love that moment like that, you know. And then all of a sudden, his mom goes like, "Oh, there's something in the box, you know. There's something in the telly." They all see, shit's happening all over the world, and what was it? And Mr. Clint, Mrs. Clint, uh, Superman's mother, literally is like, "I get your boots," and I'm over here like, that That, that right there, that. I want to see a fucking movie and a show about that. When Superman does this shit, goes back to his parents, and his parents is always telling him, suit up, or like cleaning his suits. Like, the mom is cleaning the suit, then the dad comforts him, shit happens, and it's like, suit up. Like, I want to see a whole fucking movie like that. I want to see a whole TV series like that. Yes, I want to see it. And yes, on the side, Superman can still fight Lex, these other his other Rose galleries, and do stuff with Lois. But overall, keep the dynamic with his parents and him there. You know, you know. And most people will be like, "But he's living at his parents' house." You could say that he bought the house for them because they're going to lose it, but he bought it, so now it's his house, but they just live in there basically. So nothing's really changed, you know. So, and you could change his room up a bit, if you wanted to. But again, moving on. Like, other than that, it's just that scene right there when they were getting together as a family. I saw that part, and I'm just over here like, this whole thing could have been a movie, and I would have watched the shit out of it. This could have been a TV series. I don't want to watch the shit out of it, you know. So moments like that in this movie had so much potential, but decided to not do it at all, mainly because they just wanted they wanted to do something different, I guess. And I got nothing against the director that made this movie or anything like that. If people don't like his movies, they don't like his movies. Me, I enjoyed some of the stuff that he made, so I really don't hate it at all. Um, but I want to watch Guardians of the Galaxy than this movie, though. But I don't. Again, going back, I really don't hate this movie. I know I'm bashing it really hard, but it's just I just have to tell you how I felt when I was watching this movie, And do I recommend watching this movie? Yes. Actually, yes. I do recommend you guys watching this movie. If you're a Superman fan, you're going to watch it regardless. But as a superhero movie, would I recommend watching it? Yes, for the experience. I would love for people to actually see this movie as an experience movie. Because the movie is beautiful. It's not ugly. I love the bright colors. I love that it's like 60s. It's almost like 60s, 70s mixed with modern shit. And I love that aesthetic so much. I don't know why. I just like it really, really much. Um and can we talk about Supergirl for a minute? Supergirl getting drunk, you know? And then them explaining why she gets drunk. Oh, the red sun and shit like that. And I'm just like, guys, you know what? To the point, I was to the point to the movie. I was just like, wash my hands with it. I'm like, yeah, sure. The red sun gets so drunk. Yeah, sure. Right? You know what? Forget it. Whatever. All right, that's fine. Forget it. Just say it. Instead of just, maybe having one scene, or maybe as a sequel to this movie, having a scene of Supergirl doing it. And by the way, Supergirl looks I didn't know I needed a drunk Supergirl in my life, to be quite honest with you. I am dead serious. It might sound some toxic shit, but to be quite honest, I want a drunk Supergirl in my life. I never knew that I wanted a drunk Supergirl until now. Most people are like, oh, it downgrades her character. No, to me, she, she's barely in that movie. She shows up in the last bits of the movie, and she gives the most character development possible in that few scenes, in my opinion. And I'm just like, she should have been in the whole movie, man. She should have been in the whole movie. But I know fans are getting to like into liking her and shit like that. Can't blame them. I mean, Supergirl drunk. Fuck yeah. Is that what turns these men on nowadays? And it depends what type of chick, and if you present yourself really sexy. No, but other than that, I give this movie a C. I give it a C. It is very close to being a D. Very fucking close. It is very close to being a D. Very close. But it's a C. Not a C minus, not a C plus, just a C. Plain freaking C. No, no, I mean, I couldn't make it minus C, but isn't it usually like this? Like C, like it would be like the rating. My rating should be like A plus, um, then A, and then A minus, basically. So it'd be like all those stuff, basically, you know. So that's what I would have probably done, but I'll take out the minus because, in my opinion, it's like this. All right, you got you a little bit close to there instead of the plus, you know. So, but once you have no plus or minus, that just tells me that you didn't work hard enough to upper the scales a bit of your project or anything like that. And sometimes that's fine. Sometimes it is. Look, sometimes certain content knows what they are, and they're not trying to do anything more. And well, if I keep watching this movie, well, I enjoyed the shit out of it. Probably. It probably become one of my favorite Superman movies, even though it has so many flaws. But who knows? Maybe if I get drunk like Supergirl, I'll probably think this movie is the best movie of all time. Again, I'm sorry, I don't think I'm bashing this movie, but I just have to say it. But hey, I still had a fun time watching this movie. The fact that I went all out talking about this movie, and I still had fun the way I was talking about it, and I still had fun the way I watched this movie, says a lot about this movie, you know? So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys. Again, like I said, I'm mixed with this movie, but I'm glad I watched it. There was moments I was just like, what the fuck? But at the end of the day, once the credits was rolling, I was like, you know what? I buy the DVD. I buy the DVD. I don't know what that says about me or anything like that, what people think about how I think about movies or video games or even storytelling in general, but you heard my fucking complaints about it, you know? Um, this movie just needed to be more baked in the oven more. Things had to be cut a little bit, and maybe some things need to be refilmed. Or maybe not refilmed, maybe cut to the point that, oh, maybe you're not pouring so much exposition so much to the point that I'm not that to the point that I'm ignored by it and also feel insulted by it. You know, so I feel like some things could have been trimmed. This movie didn't have to be a 2 hour movie, but it didn't felt like it was 2 hours. You know, even though the stuff that I have complained about, it didn't felt like it was 2 hours. By the time that I was just looking at the time for the movie, I was like, oh, this is actually almost done. I'm actually halfway through. And then when I looked at it again, I was already almost done. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, some people might say that, oh, it's bad that you keep looking at the time. That tells that is a bad movie. But sometimes you got to look at the time to see, like, hey, maybe if it's still dragging on or not. Or you say if you look at the time of a movie, right? And you feel like, oh, you look at the time and you be like, oh, okay, it's almost done, you know? So that's not really going to tell you as much as like, oh, it's dragging on, basically. Because if it was dragging on, it'd still be in the beginning of the whole shit of like the Titan fight, basically, and I would be like, oh god, could this hurry up more? Could this hurry up more? But it wasn't like that, at least for me. It's just in the beginning part there, it was just so fucking stupid, and then the exposition so fucking bad, man. And I guess I'm not the only one that thinks that way, because a lot of people don't. Some people don't like this movie. Like I said before, I know I'm repeating myself, but it has to be said. Some people don't like this movie, but if you like it, cool. If you don't, cool. If you're mixed with it, join the club. uh, Maybe some of us won't buy the DVD. I know I will buy the DVD. I mean, it depends what the cover looks like, though. Hopefully, the cover's not shit. I'll see you guys later. Tell me what you guys think about this movie, and be safe.